Hi again. So now I'm going to talk about using the sample task packs to support the implementation of PBLA. This is something I'm really happy and satisfied about from my time working with LinkRDP. We took the Link Learner handout packages and we adapted them. We kind of made them a little bit shorter and we reorganized them so they were organized thematically. And now they're going to really help you with PBLA implementation. So I'm going to go through what those sample packs are, how to use them, how not to use them. They're different, so you need to be aware when you're using them that you'll be using them differently. But I think what you'll find is that you're able to really implement PBLA successfully now that you're going to have, 50 to 100 sample tasks that you can choose from that students complete and put in the portfolio. So the sample tasks have been created at CLB levels 2, 3, and 4. Now they took a really long time to do. We didn't have any Link Learn handout packages for CLB 5, and the CLB 1 sample task packages are underway, so they will be coming along. I hope that most students' needs will be met by this, and I think that for those of you with students at CLB 5 and 6, you'll be able to use some of the CLB4 tasks, and you'll be able to use them to easily create sample tasks yourselves. Each package for each CLB level contains 50 plus sample tasks that you can use for assessment in PBLA. The themes, the way I've reorganized everything is that the themes in the sample packs now align with the themes in the Algonquin packages of classroom activities. So that means they follow your home and your community, banking, commercial services, employment, Canada, the law. So wherever we had tasks that matched, I've put them into that order so that they're very easy to use. The sample tasks cover all 4 skills, but there are more examples of reading and writing tasks in there than speaking and listening. I don't think that's going to be a problem in RDP, just based on the fact that if you're in a 3-hour-a-week program, you're going to only be putting 4 tasks in PBLA per semester. If you're in 6 hours, you're looking at 8 to 10. So I think the low number of speaking and listening is not going to be an issue. This is how the sample packs look. So you'll see there that we've changed to RDP CLB2. That is a CIC-wide change that's coming in September, and that these are sample tasks with feedback. These packages are for you. They are not for the learner. I'm going to talk about that in detail as I go through. You will only receive the electronic copy and 1 copy per CLB level for your groups. So within the sample packs, there are numerous, as I said, 50 plus sample tasks, many for receptive skills such as reading and listening. Here you can see the activity, and it says it's a fill in the blank. And what happens at the student completes the activity, but at the end, the difference is that now gives you a score. So that means on this particular activity, the student would have to be correct in 5 out of 6 of these fill in the blank to have achieved CLB3. And there's a space for comments. So that's a place for you to give plentiful feedback to the learners about what they did well and what they still need to work on. So for example, even if they got 6 out of 6 here, perhaps they started, with a capital letter. That's worth pointing out to them. You got all of the answers correct, but remember, when you're starting in the middle of a sentence, no capital letter is needed. This is the kind of feedback that really helps learners to improve. So 2 crucial aspects: the score and if they've achieved the CLB level, and your comments about their completion of the task. For each sample task for the productive skills, those are writing and speaking, we have a rubric or a rating scale so you can give extensive formative feedback on the language the student produced. So here's an example from the CLB3 package. This is this is for a writing task, and it's for an email actually. And so the email has been broken down into 5 aspects. Is the message comprehensible? Is all the information included? Do the sentences, are they complete? Do they make sense? Is the information in the message correct? And how about the spelling and punctuation? And then for each aspect, you're rating 1, you're not there yet. 2, you can do this, but you need help to do it well. Or 3, you've done it at CLB3 level. You have to get, so that is like an analytical breakdown of the task, but there's a holistic score that means, you know what, you have to have achieved 12 out of 15 overall to have achieved CLB3. And then comments at the bottom. So this is very helpful feedback to learners, and I'd like all the RDP facilitators to get into the practice of giving this kind of feedback on written tasks that are going into the portfolio. When you put it in the portfolio, you put the sample of the students writing, what the task was, and the feedback you gave them. You're only looking at doing that 4 to 10 times a term for the students, but the things that you do should follow along and align with what you've been studying. So I created a little case study here to talk about so you can see how this just streamlines right into your instruction. So in the needs assessment, your students expressed an interest in employment-related topics, and you've been working through the materials in the Algonquin packages for Link 3 in the employment chapter. So perhaps some of the things you've been practicing and studying in class, you might recognize this. It's the volunteer application form. So you've been practicing with the students. They've all got one of these packages, how to fill in a form, what are the key things to remember, capital letters, the formatting for forms. And here's page 2, a little bit denser, a little bit more specific information. Who do you use for references? What is your availability? Understanding the declaration. That's the practice activity from the classroom activities. Then at the end of doing that, you've talked about it with the students, you've given them feedback. Here's a practice, here's a second practice activity that you might do from the classroom activities. You're going to now do have them read the volunteer application form. What were the 7 sections? Give some reasons, talk about volunteering, why might people volunteer? So nothing changes in the way you're teaching. You're still teaching that exact section of the classroom activity packages that you were teaching before. But here, taken from the sample pack for CLB3, is a corresponding PBLA assessment. So task 41 in the CLB3 package of sample tasks is filling in forms. Now it's slightly different, and it should be. You're not going to give the exact same task to the learners, but here is an emergency contact form that when you've applied for the job, you've taken the job, and now the manager has asked you to fill in the emergency contact form. And so your learners should be able to do that based on all the stuff you've been studying in employment and filling in forms. So can you see there's an alignment, not a duplication, an alignment between what you've been studying in class and all the information and feedback and teaching you've done, and then an assessment task. This is what the learners would do alone. They're not collaborating, they're not working in a group, they're completing this, and it's this piece that goes into the binder. And along with that goes the rubric. So, did they complete the form with the correct information? Did they use capital letters correctly? Did they print clearly? Can they complete the form using correct spelling? And again here, you're going to give them a 1, 2, or 3. At the end, it's going to say 9 out of 12 means that CLB3 was achieved. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be about 75%. And then some comments. You know, you put all the correct information, you use capital letters, and you had good spelling, but you still need to work on your printing because at times it's hard to read. The kind of feedback that learners can actually do something with. Giving them a score of 9 out of 12 with no idea of what that means or where they did well, they can't really improve from that. It's a guessing game of what it is they did well. So again, just to repeat, at the end of your studying that section of the classroom activities, you would complete this sample assessment. The assessment completed by the learners under test conditions, along with your feedback, goes into the portfolio. So here are the golden rules for the PBLA sample packs. Their function is to help you by providing ready-made tasks that you can use with the students. Give them lots of feedback. Use rubrics to explain their achievement. You will have lots of samples of learner proficiency to support your CLB decisions at the end of the semester, at the end of the year. Please do not use the sample packs as handout for practice in class time. They took a long time to develop. Think of them as an exam bank type of resource. They've been developed to help you pick and choose from the 58 things in a semester that can be used for PBLA. That's why you're only receiving one of them. They replace the learner handout packages, but they don't duplicate them. You're not giving every student those. They're an exam bank. Think of it like that. They're to help you. As soon as facilitators start giving the entire pack out to learners, they will not be a valid assessment tool. So don't make copies for learners unless you intend to use the completed assessment for the portfolio. That is the golden rule. Okay? So that will help you now and be very supportive, I think, in implementing PBLA in RDP.